Hi, this is Ginny, and I'm here today with you to show you how I put this page together. And this is using the September kits, and it all started with this paper with the squiggly lines on it, and I really loved it, but I thought it would be really cool if I used an X-Acto knife and cut out some of the areas and then back them with some patterned paper. So that's my starting point for this page. And I went ahead and started just so you don't have to sit through all of this watching me cut. I like this, and I was looking for a photo that looked kind of chaotic, and that's what makes me think of this. But then I was looking through my photos, I found one of when I was out having tea in the morning, and this is like my quiet time. I do it every morning before all the kids are awake, and I really like it. So I kind of like the chaos down here with the squiggly lines. I'm going to have the paper behind it. And this is going to be my serene, calm photo. It just makes me think of calm and happy things. So that's where my thinking is going with this page. So like I said, I've gone ahead and started cutting some out, and I'm going to go ahead and cut some more. And I just used this Fisker's craft knife. I've had it forever. And I couldn't find my my cutting mat, so I just got a piece of chipboard to put behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some more, and it's really, with this, I love this thing. It's so easy to cut. It's easy to do straight lines or a curve or circle. It's a great little tool, and I use it a whole lot. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I do this. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the video now just so you can quickly see how I did this. And like I said, I just used the X-Acto knife and trimmed out some of the paper. And I would just place my photo at the top to see where I wanted to trim it out from. And I didn't want a lot of paper gone because I really just liked the pattern from the original pattern paper, so I really wanted to keep that intact for the most part. And I knew I was going to add some stitching and some mist, and I ended up adding paint as well. So I didn't want it to be too chaotic at the bottom. I still wanted you to see the original pattern paper. And using the X-Acto knife was really easy and simple to do it. It did take a little bit of time, but not too much. And then when I ended up backing the pattern, I just went through my papers and cut a little bit from each one, and I used some washi tape to tape it to the back. I could have used just regular adhesive, or I could have just stitched it right to it. I went ahead and taped everything to the back and then went to my sewing machine and stitched some lines through it. And I just cut little bits and pieces here and there. And I'm sorry about my video. I must have had a blonde moment and set the camera on the wrong side, so it taped it. It taped it instead of lengthwise. It taped it this way. So, but I think you can get the main images in the screen. Sorry about that. And I didn't realize it till after I went back to edit it. So, like I said, I just went ahead and used some washi tape and taped it to the back. And I would flip it over to see what colors I needed, where I needed a little more color. And I like using bits and pieces of the papers from the kits. They work so well together because they're picked out to go together, and it adds just little pops of color here and there. And the thank you is actually from the new stationery kit. And I thought it was a nice way to thank you for the little moments, the time in the mornings. So there I've added my stitching. And I'm going to use some of the Heidi Swap Color Shine in black and just make some swatches. So I'll set that aside to dry. It dries fairly quickly though. And I'm going to use one of the stamps from one of the add-on kits and the new pigment ink from the stationery kit as well. It stamps really nicely on photos. And this was just a word sentiment, and I wanted it to curve around my mug. So I just kind of lightly curved it on the stamp block and then placed it there. Would have been easier if my stamp block was clean. As you can tell, it's a little dirty. It needs to be cleaned. I'm not so good with cleaning my supplies. I just like to move on to the next thing. So I'm going to add a few enamel dots and then a date tag, which I think was from one of the Project Life add-ons. And that's where I stamped the sentiment, and I'm going to add just an enamel dot so it shows up a little better to draw your eye in that direction. And then I'll add my date. And this is one of the new Color Theory inks. I love those, the limited edition. I've used those quite a bit. I think that's the Mojito. It's a really nice green, minty green color. So for the transparency, I ended up using a little bit of adhesive on the back, but I think stapled would look really good, or just stitched right on the page. You couldn't even see it. It's so the transparency is rather dark, so you couldn't see the adhesive showing through. And this is the roller stamp from the main scrapbook kit. And there's another one of the new inks. I think that one was Power Suit. And I just stamped June, July, August, because those are the main months that I like to sit outside. And then I wanted to add some gold, so I just used regular gold spray paint, and I spray it in the top and then just drip it on my page. And the great thing about that gold spray paint is it dries really quickly, and it keeps that nice gold sheen. So here are a few close-ups. So thanks for joining me today.